Imagine a fighter jet that was fast, easy to maintain, cheaper than its rivals, and perfect for many countries in the Cold War. Yet, despite being one of the most advanced aircraft of its time, nobody wanted to buy it. This is the strange and fascinating story of the F-20 Tigershark, often called the best fighter jet that no Air Force ever used. To understand this mystery, let's rewind to the late 1970s and early 1980s. The Cold War was at its peak. The United States and the Soviet Union were locked in a global rivalry. Many smaller nations wanted modern aircraft to defend themselves, but the US had a problem. They didn't want to sell their top-of-the-line jets like the F-15 or F-16 to every country. Why? Because there were concerns about sensitive technology falling into the wrong hands. So, the US defense industry came up with a solution: create a jet that was powerful, reliable, but still export-friendly. That's how the F-20 Tigershark was born. Now, let's look at what made this aircraft special. The F-20 was essentially an advanced evolution of the earlier F-5 fighter jet. But unlike its predecessor, the Tigershark was equipped with a single powerful General Electric F-404 engine, the same engine later used in the famous F-A-18 Hornet. It could fly at Mach 2 speeds, climb incredibly fast, and required very little maintenance compared to heavier jets. Most importantly, it came with cutting-edge radar and avionics that could compete with the best in the world. For countries with smaller budgets, this was a dream. An affordable, easy-to-maintain fighter that could still match Soviet MiGs in combat. So, Northrop, the company behind the F-20, launched a major campaign. They said, why buy an expensive F-16 when you can get the same performance at half the cost? They even showed that a pilot could train on the F-20 within just 2 weeks, compared to months required for more complex aircraft. The Tigershark also had a very high readiness rate, over 80% availability, which was impressive for fighter jets at the time. On paper it seemed like the perfect solution. Smaller nations could strengthen their air forces without burning a hole in their budgets. The US government could supply allies without giving away its most sensitive technology. A win-win situation, right? But here's where the story takes a twist. Despite all its advantages, the F-20 failed spectacularly in the market. Why? The main reason was politics. Many countries preferred to buy the more advanced F-16, even if it was more expensive, because the US government was willing to sell it after all. The F-16 had already proven itself in combat with the Israeli Air Force, and its reputation grew quickly. Meanwhile, the F-20 had no combat record, and air forces didn't want to take a risk on an untested aircraft. On top of that, there were tragic accidents. 2 prototype F-20s crashed during demonstration flights, killing experienced pilots. This damaged confidence in the program, even though the crashes weren't due to design flaws. So, the Tigershark became a victim of timing and geopolitics. Northrop built only a handful of prototypes. Billions of dollars were invested, but not a single country placed an order. The US itself never adopted it because it already had the F-16 and F-A-18 filling those roles. In the end, no matter how good the aircraft was technically, defense deals are not just about performance. They're about politics, trust, alliances, and influence. The F-16 became a global success, used by over 25 countries, while the F-20 faded into history as a forgotten legend. So to sum up, the F-20 Tigershark was fast, reliable, affordable, and easy to fly, yet nobody wanted it. It's a classic case that proves one thing: in the world of military technology, being the best on paper doesn't guarantee success. What really matters is politics, reputation, and timing. The Tigershark remains a fascinating what-if story in aviation history. Some experts still say, if it had been adopted, it could have been one of the most successful fighters of the Cold War era, but instead it's remembered as the jet that never had a chance.